So, Honorable, tell us who is eligible for the free SHS?
Thank you. Every student who wrote this year's BEC intending to go to a secondary school, whether a grammar secondary school or a technical vocational secondary school or a technical institute, who passes their exams, who gets placed by the computer school placement program, and who, after being placed, enters or goes to the school, will go for free.
So, so basically, it will cater for both the poor and the rich.
It caters for everybody. If you're a Ghanaian child, went to school here, whether it's a private primary school or a public primary school, who studies hard, who passes the exams, who selects the school he or she wants to go to, who is placed by the computer program in the school she or he wants to, or who is placed in a school, who accepts the offer of placement and goes to the school, will go for free.
So, some critics out there say it is not entirely free for reasons I'm still yet to get to know. But what's your position on this?
I find it interesting that the program hasn't started. Somebody say it's not entirely free. So in the person's mind, nobody can ever satisfy him or her what we mean by free. But I'm saying that when President Mahama decided to start progressive free SHS, that he came to Parliament in 2016 to announce, it was for 88 cities for a border. And before President Akufo-Addo took over in 2017, of the 120,000 borders that President Mahama envisaged he was going to cover as the first point, none, not even a single one, had been given a scholarship. And that was 88. So to the person who was espousing to the nation that we're going to do progressively free SHS, started this year, it was 88 cities, but couldn't fund even one. You can understand how it would be difficult for the person to comprehend that somebody can do it. But in life, even when we are all given the same basket of resources, the outcomes, if we are preparing soup, might be different. So President Akufo-Addo has decided in his government, as far as he is the president, he believes that Ghana's resources should be channeled towards free senior high to improve on the quality of education for everybody. There is not a single developed country in the world where secondary education is not free. When he started shouting free SHS, adverts, as many as 35, 36 adverts were put against free SHS, only to be announced when he lost that, oh, after all, we can also do it. I ask a question. Had Ghana finished building all the schools it wanted when the last president decided to start progressively free SHS? No. Who gets into a marriage and day one has everything in the marriage that the person wants? Ghana, as far as I'm concerned, I want anybody to challenge me otherwise, started certain aspects, certain people in Ghana started benefiting from free secondary education about 60 years. And I want to put on record, free secondary education has given us at least one or two presidents in this country.
You want to mention?
One has written a book, an autobiography. And in his own autobiography, his father was one of the richest people in the country. He was a minister under the First Republic. He was in a private, virtually a private primary school. He said his father took him to go and enjoy free secondary education elsewhere. It was not that the father couldn't pay. He could have paid. His father was a minister. He could have paid. So Free secondary education is not because somebody is rich, but it's to ensure that nobody loses out because he or she is poor. Turn the tables round. The fact that I can pay my children's school fees to the university, I'm not happy that if I can only do that, I have to do more. So if the state decides to, instead of putting $138 million to capacity building in a year, it wants to use that money to fund. That is why President Akufo-Addo believes that the best use of Ghana's oil find is the free secondary education.
So that brings me to quality. Quality is a major concern about, when people think about the free HHS. In general, people think free is void of quality. How are you guys? How's the ministry going to ensure quality?
It is very sad for somebody to think free as being poor quality. We breathe, and we breathe for free. Who have you seen bottling air for people to breathe because it's of poor quality?
That's about it. So, in September, which is just a couple of months away, the free SSS program is going to start. My question is, how prepared is the ministry?
The ministry has to be eternally vigilant to look at everywhere something might be hidden and bring it into the transparency, into sunlight, to disinfect every nook and cranny. The ministry works 24/7 to ensure that nothing's sight is closed off. This is what the ministry has done. For the first time, somebody tells me in about 30, 40 years, he's seen ministers of education answering questions to stakeholders in Ghana Education Service about free SHS. All secondary school headmasters have been met. All secondary school accountants have been met. Actually, all Ghana Education Service accountants have been met, which is a slightly bigger body. We've met all auditors of Ghana Education Service. We've met all storekeepers and supply officers of Ghana Education Service. We've met all district directors of education. We've met all district regional deputy directors of education in charge of inspection. We've met all regional directors. We've met all matrons and domestic bearers. We've met all principals of technical institutes. Why would we do that? To realize that we are all on the same page. So we've done extensive stakeholder consultation. We've met CHAS, we've met all the unions, name it. Is to bring everybody on board of this government policy. This policy is not going to do anything different. The only thing that is going to happen is that when that boy gets into prepper college, that headmaster or accountant cannot charge him anything. Or no fee would be introduced that the government is not aware of or is not approved. Or that child is not going to be denied his education in prepper college because of a fee he has to be paid.
That's to tell you that they're extremely prepared. Every single stakeholder in education have or has been met. So, Honorable, my last question is: at what point would you call the program a success? Like you are there. At what point would you mention or call that?
The program is not an event. The program has to live with us for some time. The program has to sustain itself. And so the biggest challenge is to open the door for the program to start, which we hope that it will start in September this year. The government must live prudently. The government must prioritize. The government must continually eliminate inefficiency and corruption from the system to be able to fund it. So the challenge of the program is not calling it a success in September. The challenge of the program is sustaining it. And I'm reassuring Ghanaians that the only government that can sustain a free SH program into the future It's an MPP government. Why? They came, a certain government came to meet a buoyant, well-functioning national health insurance. It's collapsed it. So Ghanaians must not see the next 3 years where we are rolling it out to complete the full cycle as the end all and be all. They must be eternally vigilant to protect the gains, the rights, the powers that they are being given. They shouldn't be hooked winged into words by quality. When somebody says it is of inferior quality, ask him, tell him the analogy of the air we breathe. If you can't, use a former president as an example, whose son and children today qualify for free SHS. But Amavi, Kobla, and Dodu's children don't qualify. We are saying they also must qualify. If somebody can rise to be the number one citizen, and his children can enjoy free SHS just because of where he comes from, why don't we all come from place? So Ghanaians must be eternally watchful that when they next go and look at events, they should be wary of parties that are shouting free SHS is not possible today. Because you give those parties the chance to come into government and they'll take free SHS away to make sure that, we told you it is not sustainable. Insofar as MPP is in government, free SHS is a sustainable project.
Thank you so much. I think that's about it for today. My name is Elia, and I would like to say thank you so much, Honorable. He's the man for the work. So the whole Ghana is in support, and so far, so good. And his answers tells it all. Catch me same time next week. God bless you.